So you heard of this little event called Halloween Horror Nights. And you heard it might be just a little bit scary. Well, just relax. In this video, I'm going to give you some pre-tips, some pre-places in the park that you can go and kind of get a feel for how Horror Nights is. That way you know if you really want to go to the event or not. So before we start off, I just want to say some of these tips and places I give you, they're going to kind of represent a taste of Halloween Horror Nights. It's not going to be 100% accurate because Halloween Horror Nights is a different beast, just like any other haunt out there. It's different when you're in the actual haunt, when you hear the noises, smell the sights. I said that wrong. Obviously, none of these places, locations, things I'm going to say in this video are going to be 100% accurate to what Halloween Horror Nights house is. Obviously, once you're in the house and you have all the, sights going on, the sounds, the smells, it's a whole different ball game in comparison to some of these I'm going to give you, but at least some of these are going to be as close as you can get during the daytime operations because we don't have a year-round haunt. And first up, we're going to be talking about Camp Jurassic. Now, Camp Jurassic is known to be a location obviously for kids. It's a camp. It's got a little kids ride. You got to have a kid to get on that ride. I still want to do that ride one day, maybe. Camp Jurassic is home to a lot of caves and mazes. Well, not really mazes, but they're kind of like these hidden caves that are kind of dark. They're kind of scary and they have some sound effects and some lighting. So kind of an early indication that you can kind of handle that. You can maybe handle a lighter maze at Halloween Horror Nights. So the next step is going to actually be here in Camp Jurassic. You go right in to the left, and then you take a left, and there you go. Now, this camera is going to light it up a little bit more than what your eye would see, but this is definitely going to give you that scariness. So this is going to give you that atmosphere of being sort of in a weird, dark element with some lighting. Definitely going to kind of get you a little spook, but it's definitely going to set you up for, kind of being in that element of like a Horror Nights type situation. And there's the geyser. So there's all type of scary elements in Camp Jurassic. It's for kids, but realistically, there's stuff like this tunnel that is kind of creepy. So it gives you that horrifying Halloween Horror Nights element. And that's what I'm talking about. That was a jump scare. So if stuff like that you're all right with, then you're okay for Horror Nights. If that scared you, you cried, maybe not. While we're over at Islands, another great location, although they kind of changed a little bit of this, would be Kong Skull Island, the attraction there. That's going to give you a great transition. Now, once you go to Halloween Horror Nights, if you don't have shades, and I'll mention this in another video about preparing for Halloween Horror Nights, you're going to want shades. Even if you wear glasses or if you don't wear glasses, get some shades, because when you go during the event, unless you're just going to go to the event at nighttime and maybe you have express or something, you're going to want to have shades, because it gets sunny here in Florida, and sunniness and then going into a dark house, they don't equal very well. So you're going to want shades to kind of combat that from the light to the dark. And you'll see me mention this in the next video. So the contrast between going in the light and into the dark will set you up for Halloween Horror Nights, because that's why you want to bring shades, because otherwise it would be super dark, almost like this type of darkness in the house. And you don't want that in a haunted house, because you're going to hit walls and stumble. But they used to also have scare actors in here, so it would kind of give you the closest thrill to actually being in a haunted house.
And then our couple after that is actually also from Chicago, and her father-in-law.
And another great spot I would have maybe tried to show off is Revenge of the Mummy attraction, but inside you actually got to find some creepy elements inside of here too. So if you happen to like roller coasters and you go in here, it's got some HHN elements inside. So if you're all right with that, you can handle Horror Nights. But the attraction was closed, so therefore I couldn't go inside. But once you go inside, you can see how some of the areas are a little spooky. They give you kind of a Halloween Horror Nights vibe. But yeah, those are 3 attractions. If you can kind of go through those and kind of just explore on your own, that's going to kind of get you in the mindset of what it's like to go kind of through a Halloween Horror Nights house. Just kind of a sample of it. Obviously, Halloween Horror Nights house is going to be like that times 10, with actors, sights, sounds, effects going on, you know, different variations of the height of buildings and corridors. In the comment section, how do you prepare for Halloween Horror Nights, at least mentally? Like, are you amp yourself up? Do you enjoy a Fat Tuesdays drink before you go in? I know a lot of people usually pregame, or do you just find different ways to kind of deal with the anxiety, the stress, the oh my God, I'm gonna get scared. But that is it for the video. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to check out this video if you want more tips on the Unmasking the Horror Tour. And check out this video from Brian from Orlando. They did a great video about how scary is Halloween Horror Night. So thank you guys for tuning in. That is it for this video. Zombie Chris is signing off.